Hello there everyone, it's the white cover of Doom again. And if you remember last episode, if you haven't watched it, annotation right around this area of the screen. If you haven't, or check out my channel, it'll be somewhere on the screen. If you haven't watched that, then, well, go watch it, because it makes more sense. But in that episode, I had lost a locomotive. But as I go to find it, there's the fuel tank, the mysterious one. As I go to look for these cars, I find the locomotive. And it's apparently really hard to get out of the box. And there we go, there it is. That's it. It's, I forget. But anyway, I'm about to show you the most hideous thing you've ever seen. It looks like the devil. Also, it appears that it's missing one of this side right here, and yeah, I'm gonna have to find pieces for that. It has a bell mount, which was done really well, and the horn on top, which again was done really well, but those frontal lights stare into my soul. I don't like them, if you can't tell. And if you really can't tell, then you're not going to be able to, because the video is too blurry. Otherwise, it's a great locomotive. It's from Atlas. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Anyway, so this episode is going to be me looking at all of my trains again. Except this time we have something new. Oh, let me put the fuel tank in there. The mysterious, elusive fuel tank. This time we have something slightly new. It's all the rolling stock, except if I did all my rolling stock, we could be sitting here for like an hour and a half, or even more, and that would be going rather quickly. Instead, I did my BCRail rolling stock, which I then realized something really bad. The BCRail rolling stock is nearly half of the rolling stock I have, so we have a problem. But anyway, let's just go with what I have here. And you went, oh, he's going to do 2 cars? Nope, these are just the exact same car. These are kits that obviously have not been finished. PGE, Pacific Great Eastern gondolas that don't have wheels. Yeah, that's good. The other one is the exact same thing, except I think this one is actually put together. Oh, it is. It's actually put together. And sort of has a weird dry brush of paint on it. And also doesn't have the side handrails. That's really weird. Anyway, as you can see, here it is. It's brilliant. It's a PGE, Pacific Great Eastern, whatever you'd like to call it. And the other one looks the exact same. So that's the first bit of rolling stock that I have. Yes, and apparently Proto 2000 is setting the standard for excellence. Yes. Which actually, Proto 2000 actually does some pretty good models. Here's one of them. This is the weathered version. And then, if we go over here, here's the other one. The unweathered version. Again, same same car. This one is not weathered. And, also, apparently, this one doesn't have a plastic thing to hold it in, and this one does. Let me just remove that, and I've knocked the car over. Oh, this is how things get broken. Luckily, these cars are rather robust. And if you don't know what that means, look it up. Anyway, and there's plastic bits and bobs and stuff wherever. As you can see, this is the unweathered version, the more stock version. Good models. These are obviously made by Goldline, Walthers. There we go, Walthers, they're good. I saw a weathered one of these on one of the sites, and it looked really good. I wanted to buy it, but it was already taken. Instead, I tried weathering it myself, and it didn't turn out too bad. sort of a few little paint splotches. The top has a nice sort of rusty look to it. Yeah, it doesn't actually look that bad. Probably needs a few touch-ups. Yeah, not that bad. Pretty decent. Decent weathering on that. So, those are 2 opera lumber cars, as they are called. I don't know why they're called opera lumber cars. I think it's because they have these little weird circle-y things in them, which look pretty cool. Especially when you see the yellow ones. The yellow ones are very interesting. Oh yes. Now you know what, I'm not going to put these back in their cases. I am simply going to put them off to the side because it would take too long. The next thing that I have, which I've managed to put these things right on top of, just give me a minute, is this. A very dusty box that could be all over the car if it wasn't inside of this box. As you can see, it's an BCRail, really weirdly colored box. Car made by Athearn. Ugh, Athearn. Don't like Athearn. And it's been weathered to absolute hell. Yes, as you can see, it doesn't look too bad on this side. Oh, never mind, it looks bad on both sides. Brilliant. Luckily, back then I was smart enough to use a paint that can all be removed using rubbing alcohol. Smart enough for that, not smart enough to weather these like a proper person would. This one has a lot of weathering on it. Like, a lot. And the roof. Yeah, the roof isn't that bad, it's sort of good. Sort of. Just sort of. Ooh, sign up for Athearn News. I bet you that has expired a very long time ago. Anyway, let's quickly slide that one back into its packaging, and it doesn't have the thing back on it. So I'm just going to... Why is this stupid manual in here? I hate manuals, especially the ones that go in the boxes and you can't get them back in. You know those ones, and they just slide through the bottom as you're trying to put the train back in. And I just dropped a pair of couplers that nobody uses. Seriously, if you actually use these couplers, don't use them. That's all I can say. Is they hook together sort of nicely, but they just don't make any sense, seeing how they don't actually even look like real couplers. I mean, that's sort of ridiculous. Anyway, there we go. It's a train, boxcar, whatever. And again, we have 2 of the exact same boxcar. Yay, doubles all the way. Here we go. That's the wrong one. Where'd the other one go? I appear to have lost it. Oh, there it is. There's one of them. That one's sort of off camera. Where's... Ah, there we go. And there's the other one. And they're sort of hard to see in this light. But as you can see, they both say British Columbia Railway. They're both actually weathered pretty well. Except this one has a giant clunky weight inside of it. That probably needs to be fixed. And this one has bulging. I think I actually bought it that way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought this one that way. Because that looks really weird. Like, really weird. Anyway, as you can see, this one is weathered. It looks sort of nice. Sort of. This one's weathered even more. They're the exact same boxcar, except they've had British Columbia Railway added to them. They look pretty good. In fact, this one looks way better than the other one. Like, way better. Yes, there the cars are, matey. Okay, trying to put them back in the box is just about impossible. As I figured out, and only one of them actually fits inside of the box for some weird, oh, it's the couplers, that's what it is. Anyway, so let's just quickly package those back up, put them over here, and I'm not sure what's in. Sorry about that, had a little interruption. I am in the middle of a living room where the door is, so yeah. Anyway, these are 2 cars. Lignum, which, if you don't know, is a company of forest producer or products or something, and Lignum. Now, it's hard to see because the light is shining in at such an angle right now. It was really good when I did the locomotive video, but now it just looks horrible. Let me just put this down a little bit. So there you go. There they are. Now this one, as you can see, you might be wondering, how are these even related to BCRail? Well, BCRail serviced Lignum, and the reason why I really like to say these are related to BCRail is on them, which I will show you later. It actually will explain why. One thing is, this one is incorrectly done. Also, this is an extremely low quality version. You can see it's a thrall door car. Extremely low quality, while this one is high quality. It looks very good, doesn't it? Bright orange, and that's actually what they were. But as you won't be able to see on the camera, right here in this little small text, which you won't be able to see, it says, "Return to Williams Lake, BC on BCOL Railroad." So it specifies what you're supposed to do with it. And guess where I live? Williams Lake, BC. This is why this car is extremely special. This car, yeah, this car says it too, but it's a little bit harder to read. And it says, "When empty, return to Williams Lake, British Columbia on British Columbia Railway." Yeah, so as you can see, I don't know. But they both say it, and that's very special because I live there. And Lignum used to be here, but then Toco bought it. So Lignum no longer exists, nor does British Columbia Railway. Ooh. Anyway, this one, as you can see, is, well, has tape on it, actually. That's really confusing. I don't know how this tape got on there. I got this out of a box of trains randomly, so that's why. This is a lot older of a model, and this is the new one that looks so nice and brilliant. Yes, so as you can see, Lignum and Lignum. They both have these weird things on them. This one's white, and this one's orange. They're pretty cool cars, I have to admit. Let's put this one back in its box. And let's put this one back in its box, because I don't want them not being in the... Ooh, what does it say on the end? Ooh, it even says BCRail on the end. So these are definitely related to BCRail. Yes, very good. Anyway, the next thing we have... Actually, I'm not going to show... The chair that I'm sitting in makes the sound of a dying bird when I get up. Ugh, that's horrible. That's absolutely... Wait a minute, what? Oh, then give me a minute. Just give me a minute, I'm sorting things out. So here's what we have. Something you cannot see in this actual shot. Move the camera up. Oh, look! A bunch of Walther's cars. Now, what exactly are they? They're Walther's BCOL ballast cars. So nice. They're very good. Let me open up the side of these things. Bring the camera back down. Open up the side and show you just a few of them. Okay, I'm showing you all of them. This isn't enough. The only problem is this isn't actually enough to make a ballast train, because it's only 3 cars, and normally ballast trains can be about 30 cars long. Yeah, not enough. You're gonna need like 10 more of these packages or whatever. I don't feel like doing math right now. And so, as you can see, they have, again, been weathered, and the weathering doesn't look extremely horrible. But it doesn't look extremely good. Oh, they even have a little bit of ballast in them. That's actually pretty surprising. They also, which I added, is these little bits of yellow tape, which are actually on the cars themselves. I'm pretty detailed, aren't I? Yeah, that's just about all the detail I've ever done on one of these, so that's brilliant. The next one, which looks the exact same, has these same little yellow nubs on it. Yes, and has a little bit of ballast inside of it, too. That's pretty accurate. This one, I think this one got too close to my soldering iron actually one time. And it has this horrible genetic mutation. Yeah, not that great. Not that great. A lot of these things had genetic mutations because I was not careful back in the day with them, like I am now. You know, seeing how I'm not that careful today either. I sort of am. This one, for some really weird reason, is not like any of the other ones, and I can't remember why. There's no ballast inside, and it appears to have black on the side of it instead of the ballast color, the sort of beigey type color. And if we put them side by side, you might be able to tell. Yeah, you can see, sort of, since they're focusing properly now. You can see that that one has a white hue and that one has a black hue. This one appears to look like it was used for coal, even though that's not what they were ever used for. And this one appears to actually be used for what it was actually used for. That's really interesting. So here we are, a bunch, absolute bunch. This was like a $50 thing too. Yeah, these were quite a bit. I mean, and one of them now looks like it has a horrible genetic mutation. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant. I'm just trying to put them back in the packages. Sorry about this delay, because apparently I can't put things back inside of boxes quick enough, because I'm trying to do it on camera, and I'm not doing it properly. So let me just put a few of these back in their boxes. And on comes the next thing, and we're surprisingly getting close to the end of this horrid video. Oh yes. Even though it's not that horrid. It's actually quite great, except for the fact that having to look at all these things that I look at just about every day is sort of annoying. But I've had quite a few people request it, so I'm forced to do it by the laws of YouTube. Anyway, the next thing we have is this, made by Atlas. I love Atlas's locomotives. Their rolling stock does not appease me. Reason for this is, and I will show you very soon, opens up really nicely, unlike Atherin's rolling stock though. Well, locomotives at least. And the reason for this I will show you. Now, this is a BCRail, big boxcar. Would have been one of the later boxcars that you would have seen on BCRail's line. Ugh. Very detailed underside, which you can't, oh there you go, you can see a lot better because it's on a white background. Very detailed. Very good. Says right on it, British Columbia Railway. No roof weathering, just only ridiculous looking side weathering. And apparently a giant mark of what looks to be like coal. In actually what sort of resembles the shape of British Columbia. And there's blue on the side. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, this one, the only reason why I don't like them is because, as you can see, look at the bottom of the wheels. That screw was not supposed to be there. You know what Atlas has? They have a pin. A little plastic pin that holds the truck to the actual boxcar itself. And I bought one of these beforehand, and I lost the pins, and the thing was broken. And then I realized that I could just use screws, except for the fact that the actual car was broken all in itself. That's the story. So I bought another one, and instead of having two, I now have one with what look like extremely loose trucks, but at least they don't fall off. Because that's what happens, and that's why I don't like Atlas rolling stock. And I'd rather go with maybe something else that produces a little bit better of rolling stock. Ugh. 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 Putting this back into its box. Now comes, not that one I'm doing last because I sort of like it. Now comes something, a caboose. Yes, a caboose. These things have been disgraced all around the world. Seriously, there's one that I actually saw, and it's been painted red. It's been painted red. Oh, it looks horrible, and I don't like it. This one, that's a good shot of it. it's sort of been, and if it would focus properly, it's sort of been weathered a little bit. Has the nice British Columbia Railway thing on it. Looks very nice. Decent modeling. Roof's been weathered too. Everything's been weathered. It all looks good, and this would be at the end of a train. Or actually, I've only, surprisingly, just up this one city from us, they have one in Quesnel, and they're actually using it, and it looks exactly like this one, and they still use it. Also, in our yard, they've started using another one, another old BCRail caboose. They've actually started using it for yard movements. Interesting. Now, it doesn't look anything like this because it's just solid green and says BCRail, but this is still interesting. So, in the box it goes, and for some reason it, oh, and let me see if this one, yes, this one still manages to have those ridiculous, actually no, I've replaced this one with screws too, because I'm tired of the shenanigans that were being, no, how does this go? I always can't put this one in the box. Always, I'm incapable of doing it. And now, this is the car that I like to say I always forget I own. Literally, I nearly dropped that. Yeah, I'm so much more careful nowadays. And it has a little white tag thing coming out of it. The warranty is up on this thing. Yes. So, as you can see, this is the car that I always forget I had, and I forgot I had it again. I always forget I have this thing, and it's upside down in the box. Brilliant. So, as you see, if we open it up, it's a bulkhead flat car, and it has a giant thing of manuals. I hate manuals on these things. Look at this. Doesn't that look really beautiful? Oh, yes, 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 yes. Big bulkhead flat cars, and it's not in the shot, and a lot of these things aren't in the shot because the camera's not low enough. This is the car I always forget. I always remember that I forget that I forget that I have it, and it just tried to roll away from me. As you can see, very nicely modeled, and it's not BCRail, it's Pacific Great Eastern. There you go, you can see it better like that. Yep, it's basically just a bulkhead flat car. Nothing really special. Looks really nice. Flies down the track really nice, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't think I've tested this thing much. Could use a little bit of weathering, but I don't feel like weathering it. I am a lot better nowadays, just for all you guys who really hated my weathering, which I completely agree with it. It was really bad. Now, for all the people that are... Oh my goodness, that's a lot of stuff. Anyway. Yeah, so there it is. I might actually weather this, and I might show you how it comes out. So all you people who said that my weathering's horrible, which back then, yes, it was really bad, who said it was horrible, can now see that I can do things a lot better. Yes, I've improved over these few years. And there you go. It looks like a bulkhead flat car. And you don't want to see all of the rolling stock that I have piled up here. I'm going to put everything, just let me grab that caboose, and I will show you that like 50% of the rolling stock I have. Oh, look at it. Behind that there's boxes and boxes of stuff, and it all needs to be put back, and it's a giant thing of rolling stock. Yes, and this is probably one of the last times you'll see this horrible thing. Very nice day outside. Anyway, see you all later. I guess goodbye. And remember to comment and subscribe. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna end the video.